So, we got some news to talk about today, and it includes a lot of AEW news, and the reality is a lot more AEW news, a lot more AEW news than WWE news. So let's get the WWE news out of the way first, or some of the WWE news out of the way first, and then we'll sprinkle in the AEW news within the conversations. First things first, Roman Reigns is not announced for Money in the Bank as of right now. And I just want to point out that yes, it is very possible that it's just too early for the pay-per-view. Meaning, Money in the Bank is not until June or July. And the likely reason why Roman Reigns is not announced for the pay-per-view yet is because the pay-per-view isn't for nearly 6 months. So what's the big deal if he's not announced for the pay-per-view 6 months from now? The likely reason why Roman Reigns is not announced for Money in the Bank is because Roman Reigns will not be at Money in the Bank. Because a lot of people are under the impression that when Roman drops the WWE Championship, or the Undisputed Universal Championship, that Roman will end up taking time off after the fact because Roman has been pretty much carrying WWE on his shoulders since he won the belt 3 years ago, that being the Universal title. He has basically carried WWE on his shoulders for the better part of the last 3 years, and will likely take some time off after dropping the belt to, very likely, Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. So, in my opinion, I think that is very likely what is going to happen. That Roman Reigns will likely take some time off, and Roman Reigns will not be featured at Money in the Bank. The only question is, will that make an impact? Because also, if you look at it, Cody was not at Clash of the Castle last year. Cody was not at Clash at the Castle last year because Cody was injured. So it is possible that fact, and the fact that Cody has not been featured on a UK show in quite a long time, couple both those together, and that should positively impact Money in the Bank. Because Cody will likely still be the champion at Money in the Bank. The only question I have is, with the fact that Roman Reigns has kept the WWE Championship and the Universal Championship for the better part of the last 3 years, does that mean that Cody Rhodes will not get a long title reign? He'll get a title reign, but not a title reign in close proximity to what Roman has gotten over the last 3 years. Because WWE would not want to have somebody, would not want to switch the belt from Roman to Cody and then have Cody keep the belt for like a year, because they just did that with Roman. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying Cody should keep the belt for a month and then give it to this person or give it to that person, because fact of the matter is, I disagree with hot-shotting to begin with, but I just don't know if WWE wants to do the same thing that they just did and keep the belt on one person for a long period of time. Sort of like the old school mentality of maintaining one world champion for quite a while as opposed to bouncing the belt around. But that's Money in the Bank, and something we are going to watch over the next couple of months. But also, Impact Wrestling has a joint show coming up with New Japan on March 30th as a part of WrestleMania weekend. And that show will include, or will be headlined by, the man, the myth, the legend, or as he's becoming, for lack of a better word, Josh Alexander will defend his Impact Wrestling Championship against Kushida And the one match that I think a lot of people are looking forward to is Speedball Mike Bailey against Will Ospreay. But also, rumors have been abundant the last couple of months or the last couple of weeks with Mercedes Moné having desires to challenge Impact Wrestling Knockouts champion Mickie James in a dream match of sorts. The one question I have is, have Mickie James and Sasha Banks, did they never fight in WWE? Because off the top of my head, I don't know. I don't know if they did or they didn't. I don't remember if they did or they didn't. But the one thing I can say is, if they will, or if they do end up fighting, it would be a bigger deal in Impact or at the joint show between Impact and New Japan than it would have been in WWE, because of how Mickie James was viewed in WWE when she was there in her last run. That she was viewed as nothing more than a veteran and somebody that could put over other talent, but she was never put in the same position as a Charlotte, Alexa Bliss, Bayley, Sasha Banks, those guys, those people. And I guess the best way to put it is she was given the veteran role, sort of like Goldust, where she'd win sometimes, but never against, never over the top stars. Which was unfortunate because, in my opinion, Mickie 100%, and she's proven that in Impact, that she could have led a division, or led the division in WWE. But the fact of the matter is, that's not the case because she's not in WWE anymore. We will also get to the announcement that took place last night on Dynamite from Tony Khan in the next news video. But first, I just want to mention that Mercedes Moné had also signed with talent agency UTA, who also represents the likes of Harrison Ford. So it is a big talent agency for Mercedes Moné as she looks to do a little bit more in the acting world and in Hollywood. So that will be a big coup. That's a big coup for her, because I don't think anybody expected somebody as unproven as Mercedes Moné to sign with such a large talent agency. So congratulations to her, and I for one hope that maybe on March 30th at the joint show between New Japan and Impact Wrestling, that we will see Mercedes Moné and Mickie James. But for that to take place, Mickie James has to beat Masha Slamovich at No Surrender this weekend, which is a great segue and probably the best segue that I've done in a long time. With No Surrender this weekend, of course, y'all will be getting a preview. But also, NXT Roadblock is coming up, and, well, you get a preview for that too. Also, Revolution. I should have ended after the good segue, but Revolution, there's news on Revolution that we will get to in the next news video. With that being said, I will see you in that video.